Hello, Swivelheads. I'm coming back. All right, this is take two. My Starlink crashed right as I was talking about getting harassed while we were having the meeting with Amy Eskridge at the Huntsville, Alabama library. Can you believe that? Right when I'm talking about getting harassed at a meeting is maybe the first sign of harassment, my Starlink crashes. Was that interesting or what? I don't know, my friends. That distracts me as being highly strange. So usually if I go out like that, I will try to come back. It took me a few minutes to come back into the house here because my internet was down for a little bit. And then I had to re-queue up Zoom, and it went slower than normal for re-queuing up. So it took me a few minutes to come back. I was actually trying to get to my phone and open up my phone because the phone is not using Starlink. And I was going to try to tell you guys in there that my Zoom had crashed. But by the time I could actually get into my video there, the video had stopped and all I could do was comment at the bottom, which made no sense. So you guys know me, you know that I will come back. At least some of you guys know that. So, if we haven't done the egg guess, we're not done. We were close because I had went through uh, and I like to go through the chat room before I do the final, but we've only got 21 people here right now. Maybe I can do that. You may be a target. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that because I am armed to the teeth. So good luck with that. And I always pack. And if somebody's coming after there, they won't hear click, click first because every weapon's got a round chambered. Yeah, you don't hear me chambering rounds. That job is already done. Why waste time? You know, I'm like the old guy from the movie The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. When you got to shoot, shoot. Don't talk. Good to see you, Eddie. It's about the phase I got through. I just about got through everything, and I was about to go in and read the chat room. But we don't have everybody in the chat room now that we had earlier. I will still try to make some little stab at it here, if I can. Uh, but we don't have everybody in here, unfortunately. Been eating Army's can of foods lately, said Angie in the previous chat room. But eating sea rats. The only Army canned food was sea rats. We had sea rats when I went in the Army, but they went to MREs when I was in there. And they changed them. Eddie, you never had sea rats, have you? But Eddie never ate sea rats. A lot of sea rats we ate, I believe, came from World War II. Some of them were old, but they were usually pretty good. They were usually pretty good. I like sea rats. Uh, Me too, locked and loaded. I stay that way. I definitely stay that way. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Amy had that thing with that white Lexus. If I'd have known about that, or if I'd have been with her in those days, that would have came to an end. Let me explain. And she had people going through her panty drawers, and nobody was defending her. When I stepped down from being president of HAL 5, well, actually, I stepped down a couple times and came back. Uh, but the second time, I let one guy run the club for a year, and he kind of let it languish, and I went back in and brought it back up. And then I turned it over to a girl who had been my vice president. And she bought a house. One of our members bought a house next to her, and that spooked her out. And then somebody started breaking her house and going through her panty drawer, just like Amy was talking about. And this other guy had been doing some other things that was creeping her out. This guy had a doctor's degree. This guy had a top secret clearance. This guy was, one of the, so-called intellectual giants, supposedly, but it looked to me like he was harassing her. I came down on him like a ton of bricks. I couldn't directly threaten him without being in legal trouble, but I made it real clear to him that if anything happened to her, that I was looking at him, and I did it in an extremely menacing voice. I can get very deep, very menacing when I choose. Now, actually, my normal talk probably sounds mad and menacing. I got kind of probably a speech impediment, just the way I talk. That's probably what keeps me from growing. People think I'm angry, or people think I don't know, just the way I talk. But believe you me, when I want to turn it on, I turn it on. And boy, I was coming down on him like a ton of bricks. I scared the crap out of him. He sold his house and left the town. He left his job. He left his house. He got out of town. And I'm going to tell you something. Whoever was driving that Lexus, I'd have been all over them like white on bleached rice. And I'd known that. There's some things I don't take laying down. I don't care who you are. I'm coming after you. And you harassing somebody that is in my sphere. I didn't know that was happening to Amy at that time like that. And she told me she wanted me to take the video down. I did. I took my videos down to her until she passed. But I'm going to tell you, had I known the details of exactly what was happening to her, I knew she had health problems. I knew there were some things going on. But had I known the details like that, mm, mm, that's the way I was. Especially, you take care of your own. This girl had taken over my chapter for me, and she was getting harassed, and I wasn't going to put up with that. I wasn't the chapter president anymore, but it was still my club, and I wasn't going to put up with people treating my people like that, and I didn't. I mean, that's the way I was. That's the way I am. And, I might come after you. If you cause problems, I ain't going to just sit back. Oh, I can be proactive. You might be big, bad, and ugly, and I might just be ugly, but I can take care of business, if you know what I mean. I can. Eddie knows me. Eddie's been here. I've been to Eddie's place. Eddie knows me. When it comes down to that, I'm going to take care of business. Some things you don't put up with, and I wasn't about to put up with that. And a lot of guys wouldn't do that. A lot of guys are just wussies. That's why I don't respect wussies like Keir Starmer, Macaroni, or Joe Biden. Wussies can get the heck out of my way. I don't appreciate a wussy. But I used to have this big guy used to work for me. I mean, he had been in prison, jail, and I look at him and I say, I could whip your rear end. You know that? He goes, yeah, I know that. He wouldn't argue with me. And I came close to it one day. He made me so darn mad. I came really close to it. So, sometimes you just got to put it out there. That guy was a big guy too. And, he had a background, but you know what? I'd just tell him that. But he also knew I was packing heat, so he probably didn't want to mess with me. Proactive is good. Sometimes you got to be proactive. I mean, and if you don't think you're up to it personally, maybe there's somebody out there you really don't want to deal with. You can find people to deal with them. Maybe the law, but law enforcement is kind of wussy too, to be honest. Sometimes you just got to take care of business. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, and I mean that. And you taking care of your family, and that's why I got to tell you guys, as preppers, you got to watch your six, keep your eyes wide open, head on the swivel. But it's your job to protect your loved ones if you're the man of the house. Woman, too. And I've seen plenty of cases where a woman, there was something in the news the other day where an 80-something-year-old woman had two black kids broke in her house, and they kicked the door down. She shot them. One died there on her porch, and the other ran away. And then the family of those kids tried to sue her for $1 million. Thankfully, the judge threw it out of court. And if you break in on a house with somebody in it, you got to understand that person in that house has got to consider that you're willing to do harm to them. Nobody breaks into a house with a person unless they're willing to hurt or harm that, maybe even kill that person. If you're inside a house, you don't know what those people are going to do. And as you've often seen, like on the trains and buses, we've seen videos, somebody can look pretty nice and innocent, laying there like they're asleep, and you're gone. Especially you're on your phone, you're not paying attention, eyes are not wide open, head's on a swivel, you're focused on that little thing in front of you, and you are vulnerable out in public. So protect the innocent. Amen. Amen. Uh, and that's why if you're on a bus and you see somebody do something like that, there's always something you can pick up and hit them with. And they ain't expecting. The element of surprise can do them in real fast. I see my speakers going red up here, or one of my something is. Actually, I think it's my little mic here. They're supposed to be good for so many hours. They're not. These DJI mics are a bunch of junk. They're not nowhere near as good as they're advertised to be. They don't last as long. The batteries die on them. We'll see if it dies on me, I'll replace it. I think it's the mic if I can find the box to go in. Well, I got another one. The main receiver, though, if it dies, I'll just have to pull it. I don't know what I'll do then. Um, there it is. It's inside that box. I got it back up here. If it dies out, it ain't gonna last long. But we're about done. Um, I'm gonna try to go through the chat here real quick, and then we'll do the old chat. 75 watching originally. Yeah, we don't ever get everybody back that we had. We don't get everybody back that we had. We go out like that. Actually, I think that's who's watching now. I think it was 91 people rewatching my first video. So I'm gonna go through these real fast to see if something jumps out at me, because a lot of these people aren't on right now. I like watching Prepper News and Canadian Prepper Nate. He gives the War 3 update every day. So Dickon said, Billy Kid. Yeah, but it's every day. We're having War 3 every day. Spaceship gonna have to leave without me. Uh-oh. I dislike channels that just regurgitate MSM. Well, I try not to do that. I give you my analysis on it. Who else out here has told you that we didn't hit the uranium, or we didn't hit that uranium because there was no uranium hexafluoride? I ain't heard that from nobody. Nobody else has told you about the robotics and what China was doing and where they were going. And still nobody's telling you where they're going with it. Nobody's telling you that. Nobody's telling you what the real threat is. I brought that to you before anymore. Looks like both those speaker things are turning red on me. So I'm going to go through this fast. In fact, we'll just go through the chat we got here, and then we're going to do the egg guess. And if I got any over time, I'll go back to CP is a little dramatic. Yeah, well, he's got to be that, I guess, to get clicks. And his channel's way bigger than mine. Maybe that's my problem. I'm not dramatic enough. There's some other channels out there that every video is an emergency alert. Emergency alert. Every swinging video. Like World War III is starting right now. And I've had people call me and text me, I'm scared. Have you heard this? Well, it's all about to happen. I heard this on this channel. I said, no, calm down. That ain't happening. That's just so and so, and that's what so and so does. You know, just because you got a bunch of emergency action messages don't mean they're about to launch right now. Stuff like that. Howdy, Ladybug. How you doing? How does Starlink work if the satellite's on the other side of the Earth? There's a big constellation of satellites up. There's thousands of them, 14,000 Starlink satellites. It shouldn't ever go out. And it used to not. But now there's a lot more subscribers on it. I guess it's sucking up some of the bandwidth. And it seems to happen to me late at night. Leftovers, good. Yeah, I try to be able to take care of myself. So when the sheriff is going to talk to the elementary kid about whether they may or not have kids anymore, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Rick. How you doing, all the sun? And they're going to know he is nothing to mess with. Not sure how to read your name. ATA. Shoot. R. Mac. Oh, well, that's a big name. Ken something McKinnon, something McKinnon there. Angie, I have good friends like Greg. There you go. The Gators. There you go. Skeeters buzzing around my bed. Spanish moss for my bed. Sound when they see dry land. I'm the alligator man. That's an old Cajun song. Speak from experience, yes, law enforcement can be. Okay. Yeah, you can have bad apples there too. Oh, he was married to one. Uh, oh, what's going on here? At the bottom here. No, just my clicker's going crazy. We're here for the real news. There you go. Well, I hope you feel like you're getting the real news here. If you don't, tell me. I had one of the viewers come in and accuse me of just reciting the news. It's like, really? You've got to be kidding me. My speaker's about to die. Let me go through this chat real fast here so I can see something jumps out. So I just went through that chat. Oh, I hate it when I'm trying to scroll. Other things pop up and I can't do nothing. That bugs me. Just trying to scroll. Kathy Humphreys, #1, meant to go through comments. Yeah, sorry guys. I would have done a better job, hadn't crashed on me. Minnesota Mountains. Yeah, there you are. Minnesota Keepers. How you doing, Minnesota Keepers? Or they post ITs over and over. Get tiring. Yeah. I've seen channels bigger than mine that I don't know how they stay online because without getting knocked off by YouTube, I've seen creators that do nothing but read articles. Some of them did directly tell them. A lot of them are trying to be sly about it. And some of these are big, well-known channels. I've read an article and then I'll hear them talking about it, and they're talking like they're talking to you, but I know darn well they're reading that article verbatim. It's like, wow. Wow, I'm surprised some of them don't get caught doing that. They're poking the bear. Rags, ACV, arm, and hammer, bacon. Yeah. Name a few reformulated. That's right, old classy. A lot of that stuff's so reformulated. I bet she's not in here right now. Yeah, I lost several people. See Shelly Gray needs to wear snake boots. I saw that comment earlier. We spend too much money on our weapon system. No bang for our buck. Uh-oh. Truth teller. I try to be. I try to be. River Way. I have two older brothers in Nam. They are no good. Should have stayed. Well, war can mess with a person's head. It can really mess with a person's head. Robot goats. That was a funny one. Yeah, R.I.P. Amy. I think Amy was a good girl. Surely was. I mean, she did drink some, but she was under so much stress. That might have been her only relief. She was under a lot of stress, but she was brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, we still have a little battery left. I guess we lost New Days. Well, I got to go back monetize the other video. We're going to do the egg guess count. So let's just start it now while you guys are in the house here before my battery dies. Hopefully it won't die before we're done. Hey, John, how you doing? How many eggs did I harvest today? We're wrapping up. This is take 2. How many eggs did I harvest today? Mike Adams, a health ranger. Yeah, I like Mike. I like Mike Adams. I like Mike. Keep guessing. We got one guess. I like Mike Adams. Keep guessing. Keep guessing. Well, we got a super chat. Thank you, C. Shelley. C. Shelley, thank you so much. There's New Days. I asked a question. What's your question? All right. Kimberly Frederick got the egg count. Kimberly Frederick got the egg count. New Days, what's the question? Was it in the other video? Ask away before my mic dies. It's 6 eggs. 6 eggs. All right, Kimberly got it. Kimberly Frederick, 6 eggs. All right, now we got to do the. All right, stop rolling the guesses. Stop rolling guess. What was your guess question, New Days? Spit it at me again. What was the question? It was 6. It was 6. Let me get off that. Go to my email here real quick. All right, I don't see any more guessing, so I guess y'all done with that. How many were Easter eggs? The eggs I got. How many are Easter eggs? All right, we got one guess. Keep guessing. Of the 6, how many are Easter eggs? Do you think your relationship with Amy had a negative impact on your contract with NASA? I don't think so. All right, Kimberly got it again. Kimberly, it is 2. Kimberly got the first guess and the second guess. We'll talk about that in a minute. All righty. Kimberly got both guesses right. Kimberly's on a roll tonight. So the 2 on the end, I always try to put them on the end, or the Easter eggs. Let's see if I can get a wider light. Unfortunately, my lights, they got close like this, are usually too bright. Too bright a light. They're actually bluish or light blue. It's kind of hard to see the lighting I got. And I got a big old Dominecker egg here. And one of my Domineckers lays some really big eggs. Got the spots on them. That one's a spotted one. But anyway, so that's it. Uh-oh, that looks like it have a little bit of a fracture at the top. Might give that to my cats. That's all we got. 6 eggs, 2 of them are Easter eggs. So, all right, I'll talk to my battery dies for a couple minutes. I was a contractor at NASA. The stuff with Amy was much earlier. Didn't too much talk about my space. I didn't talk about my space activism or any of my side ventures when I was on my day job. I just didn't talk about that. Although they knew I was a space activist, and eventually my company told me to stop doing that. So I actually stopped because they thought it was a Hatch Act issue. It really wasn't, because the Hatch Act actually only applies to civil servants, but we worked among civil servants, and they always got confused about my company. It says, look, if you're going to keep your job, you got to stop doing this, which really ticked me off, because I had a chance to actually get a NASA civil servant job, but I didn't go for it. I could have had it. Would have been my job, because that was the work I was actually doing. I could have had that job. And I didn't go for it because I thought, well, if I go to NASA, I won't be able to do this space activism stuff. And I thought I was having a lot more impact in the space world with the activist side than I was in my day job. I mean, major impact, major impacts. You can see where I talked about that. I was talking about the SLS video. I did one on that on my Galactic Graves channel. I had huge impacts because I was the chairman of the policy committee of the National Space Society. I even have been quoted on space property rights by Buzz Aldrin. I run the halls of Congress. I've had major impact on space legislation to include what we got today. That's what I tell you guys. We can have impacts politically. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's absolutely possible. That's why I started the Freedom Restoration Foundation. All Apache A864s on Simmons Air Force Base are gone for the last 2 weeks. Well, we may have something big going down. It's possible. Have a way of waking people up. Y'all need to understand who Todd Callender is, that sued the Department of Defense. Okay, Todd Callender sued the Department of Defense and said 430,000 service members. Oh, that's interesting. John says we will have our own soon again. Cats, what are they doing? Anyway, yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. Wormy, that's a great name. Cars built in 2027 will all have tech monitors, driving behavior. Yeah. Hey, all my vehicles are oldies. I don't have, my newest vehicle is 20 years old. My newest vehicle is now an antique, and that is my little town and country called Cherry. And my oldest vehicle is actually a 47 Ford tractor. I've got a 47. Yeah, that thing is almost 80 years old. 79-year-old tractor. And I got a 1-ton truck from 76. It was actually made in 75. So that thing's 51 years old. My Betsy Blue. Uh, 94, sorry. Anyway, that one isn't that page. Let's see. Anyone else saying? We the people can hold our sheriffs accountable to her kids. Okay, I missed part of that conversation, obviously. Um, guys, here's the deal. Sheriffs are the elected law enforcement. They are actually elected. Therefore, they're a higher office, in my opinion, than any non-elected law enforcement. Most sheriffs know that. My Jeep turns 20 years old this year. There you go. So now anything made from 86 on has some chips in it. My two trucks, I got a 79 2-ton truck and a 76 model 1-ton truck. They ain't got no chips. Carburetors, no fuel injection, no computer chips in those vehicles. And some of the other old vehicles, they got chips in that do, but they're very crude chips, nothing like the stuff in cars today. If you have an alert system in your property, somebody come, I've got cameras. I watch the nobody can come down. I am at the end of a. In fact, my road ain't even on the maps. Google Earth won't take you here. If you put in my address, it tries to take you to a road. It does not exist. Nobody comes down here. If they do, I'm going to hear them for some time before they get here because they got to go up and down some hills to get here, and I'll hear a vehicle. And there's no traffic around here, so if I hear a vehicle that's coming here, and I'm going to know it before they get here. I can even check my camera to see who it is. But nobody's come down here that I wasn't expecting since I've been here. No one. So uh, that's a good thing about where I'm at. So if they're trying to find me and if they got my address, they don't get them here. In fact, I accidentally dialed 911 on my phone. I pocket dialed 911. The cop tried to find me and he couldn't find the place. So when the cops can't find you, that's pretty good. 1994 is the year no computers. Actually, it's 1986, Angie. 1986. Quite out there. Yeah, Eddie's been here. Eddie knows what I'm talking about. Eddie, am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? And you gotta go some distance. I'm way off. I extended. It was a dead end road. I extended the dead end road to get down to where I'm at. You're safe. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And like I said, I'm armed to the teeth, and Eddie knows that too. Plus, I'm prior service. I was in the Army. And before I was in the Army, I was a redneck growing up in the woods of Alabama. I already knew how to go bang, bang. I knew how to sneak around at dark. I knew how to do things that a lot of people didn't know. Yeah, and when I was in Arizona, that's where I'm at. It charged on me. What charged on or changed on you? Uh, so I got to tell you guys that I just looked again. It said 1986, unless it's a Volkswagen. Volkswagen had computers from way back in the 70s. But I'm in a perfect prep. I'm in a prepper paradise, to be honest. It's quiet out here, except for my cats and my rooster. Except for my rooster and my cats. It's quiet out here. Can you imagine the local sheriff telling the kids that they may or may not have kids? Now, what's that all about? They may or may not have kids. What business is it of a sheriff to tell somebody they can or can't have kids? That's no business to the sheriff. That's bull. They shouldn't be telling kids that. Country boy can survive. That's right, Eddie. That is right. Actually, I did a video on that, and I showed a bunch of pictures. I had charts. I think I made my own song out of it. I kind of changed it. Except for low rain. Yeah, we got very, very, very little rain here. I do have rainwater collection, but it don't collect a lot. But I'm planning to set up a massive rainwater collection system, massive one. So, yeah, I grew up in the woods, and I learned how to slip around at night and do things. When I was bivouacking in basic training, you weren't supposed to leave your tent unless you were on hard duty. And I was a guy who would slip out and mess with the guys on guard duty. I'd scare them. I was a guy that when they were walking their routes, I'd be behind some tree chucking rocks at them, freaking them out. Of course, I was a guy before that. I grew up playing Bigfoot. I grew up scaring the crap out of campers. And on Sand Mountain, where I grew up, and if Classy's in here, she'll know what I'm talking about. On Sand Mountain, where I grew up, everybody carried guns to go camping. So when you're out scaring the crap out of campers, you get shot at. So I've been shot at a few times in my life. I was shot at and missed and crapped at and hit. I do believe. Can collect, can't collect what they don't get. There you go. So I've got a few that you're crazy. Okay. Hey, John. David Allen Cole. Greg. Oh, I look like David Allen Cole. That far back. Yeah, you got to go back to 86. You got to go back to 80. Well, actually, 85 probably was. I think 86 is the first year to start putting chips in cars. Especially if you got a fuel injection system, you got a chip. If you got a carburetor, actually, there were some carburetors and like 87s and a few later models that actually had a computer controlled injection into the carburetor. I know I had a Chevrolet S10 that had that. Had a carburetor, but it had a little computer control chip. It was crazy. Everything else old school, carbureted and distributor. Yep, distributor points and plugs and carburetors, you're pretty good. What's the overnight temps there? It varies. We're hitting low 40s and high 30s right now. We got down close to freezing a couple nights ago. Last year on the 19th of April, I had 7.5 inches of snow. Just to let y'all know. So it varies. It gets about 20 degrees colder at night than daytime, typically. It could be more than that. Um, just to give, well, it can be more. Today, the high was 73 and the low's 39. Tomorrow, we're showing rain. That ain't right. It was yesterday. Okay, well, now they're showing some chance of rain. I got to check that out. 54% for Wednesday. Well, that was yesterday. What does it mean? But we didn't get no rain. That's crazy. All right, tonight it's going down to 40. It was 73 today. Got up to 76 yesterday. And it's going down to 40. I'm seeing all 40s here in the forecast. Oh boy, these cats might be going outside soon. Let's see. Let me pull up the 10-day forecast. These cats might be on their way out. Let's see here. Oh, I got to pull up a different app. Hope my mic don't die before I do this. We'll have to go here in a minute. We got to go here in a minute. All right, they're showing 37 for Tuesday night. We got close to freezing a couple months ago. Y'all don't know about wireless area body network through the IEEE. Yeah, there's been some work done on that. I think Microsoft's working on that junk. Let's see, electronics are not without gas in it. You ain't going anywhere. Not with these old cars. Of course, now you got the electric vehicles these days. There's hybrid vehicles, but the hybrid vehicles use gas too. Just not as much. The worms will get a bit cold. The worms will be fine. That they've handled. Well, I'm worried about the summertime here. Well, the beds I got them in. I built some in-ground beds. I got to get those finished up. So I'll have to do some content on that. How about technology that was injected inside little bodies Lines perfectly up with Microsoft patent that you can imagine local sheriff. Oh, is that what's going on? What's all this local sheriff telling kids are not going to have kids? That's what crazy. Um, 90 out paint, now 3 stored. Okay, back to bed for me. Yeah, I got to go to bed. It's after 3 in the morning here. We're still going. I got to get up. It's gonna take. I'm gonna get. If I'm not careful, the darn rooster will be crowing before I go to bed. Then I won't go to sleep. I've been on here too long tonight. Too long. I didn't mean to stay this long. Good morning, good night, nanobots. Yeah, and my batteries are about to die on me. All right, folks, let's do this. I got 2 videos to process now, so I won't be in bed for an hour. Which is crazy. It'll be after 4 in the morning before I go to bed. It's gonna wipe me out tomorrow. It's too late. Rooster's crowing. I won't go to sleep. I'll be in trouble tomorrow. I'll be wiped out. I'll be a zombie. I got a video got to make tomorrow. I'm gonna be a zombie, and I may have to run to Flagstaff. I'm gonna be sleepy going to Flagstaff and back. That's 2 hours there and 2 hours back. I'm probably going to, I don't know. I may not go to Flagstaff tomorrow. I might wait for the weekend. But anyway, folks, hey, we had a super chat earlier. I believe it was C. Shelley. Hey, watch it. I believe it was C. Shelley. One of the cats. So we got a super chat from C. Shelley. I'm pretty sure that's who gave us that. Let me check so I can find it up here on the other chat room. That chat is not going back that far yet, apparently. We did get a super chat tonight, so I want to thank C. Shelley for that. Let me check my email, see if we got anything through my website. Ding, 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 ding. And I want to thank all you mods for everything you're doing. And okay. And I just want to say thank you everyone here for watching. Please share my videos. Because right now, like I said, my viewership is down by a third. A third. That's huge. That's huge. I was already being stomped, and now I'm being stomped harder. And it's probably the Algors that have no room. Have you been to Russia? Yes, I have. I went to Moscow one time back in 2010. I was in Moscow for 2010, negotiating for the potential, trying to negotiate the use of their lunar globe platform for a private entity that was entering. We were entering the Lunar Google X Prize. That was the plan. I was actually entered in the original X Prize. So I have been to Russia. Anyway, let's see. Yes, it is. Thanks for everyone for chat. Had a blast. Appreciate that. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching. So please do share my videos. You can help the algorithms by going in my videos after I post them and commenting in the comment section. Also go in and do a comment to somebody else's comment, and please share my videos. I got a lot of content like nobody else. You need to watch that drone video that I did on what's called it about it being a test. You need to watch out for the video I'm hoping to do tomorrow. It'll be a challenge for me now, especially if I'm going to Flagstaff tomorrow. I don't know if absolutely when we'll be going there, but do watch my drone videos. I got one coming out on the power grid. A drone threat in the power grid is scary. It is frightening. I don't see how we're going to get by without having our grid go down. Guys, you need to be prepping. You seriously need to be prepping. If you're not doing, if you are prepping, double down. We are in uncertain times. Double down on the preps, my friends. Double down on the preps, my peeps. Anyway, hey, Greg, great to catch you live. Hey, Dana, good to see you. Well, we got to go. I've not been to bed. Got to watch the Amy's videos. Do that. Go to my Galactic Greg channel. So I got now, what, 4 or 5 videos on her? Let's see, 3, 4 specifically on her. I got one on Ning Lee, but it's talking about the arming and anti-gravity program. I'll do another one on Ning Lee. And I'll hit that topic some more. Oh, I'll probably want to have my friend, he's one of my 2 best friends from Alabama, Tim Pickens, on. I'm probably going to try to get him on this weekend. He was actually working as an advisor for Amy. He was one of her advisors. She mentioned him as an advisor in that Soko and Jeremy Ree's video. And that was a disgusting video. And he agrees with me on that. So I will probably have him on this weekend, and we'll talk about Amy. So I'll do a Amy Eskridge advisor video, hopefully. And then I will probably get another guy who was in that room that day, who was a co-author on the very first paper Ning Lee wrote, Glenn Tony Robertson. I'm going to try to get him on. He's nobody of mine. And a few other people. Trading honey for home-based goodies. There you go. That's a good choice. So I have to go back and catch my other videos and rewind. My batteries are got to be dying on me. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you again, C. Shelley, for the super chat. I just want to thank everybody for supporting my channels. And please, please share my videos. Right now, I'm being stomped hard. Hey, Kabbalah Art, how you doing? We're wrapping up tonight because I gotta get at least 2 or 3 winks if I can. Halo, altitude liftoff. Halo, battery assist. Anyway, Minnesota Keepers. You wouldn't be Brian Perendi, would you? He's from up in Minnesota. Hey there, C. Shelley. Yeah, I was thanking you for the super chat. Salute to C. Shelley. All righty, folks, we're calling it a night. It is late. So, to one and all, hey, everybody, keep your eyes wide open and head on swivel seriously. We're in interesting times. Hey, Brian, snuck in on with another name. All righty. So, everyone, watch your 6. I'm watching mine. Get your preps in order, big time. And we're living in uncertain times. We're going to be trying times ahead. Do the best you can. I just got an email from Brian. Screen name. Okay, very good. Change your screen name. All right, very good. So I want to thank everyone for being here. And to one and all, a good night, good day, wherever you are. America first. Amen to that. Amen to that. Some people hate our country. That's crazy. If they hate our country, it means they hate our people, because that's what the country really is. We got leaders, but that's not the country. We are the country, folks. We are the country, folks. We are the country, folks, and we are the country, folks. I think most of you are. Anyway, I grew up on a farm, so, and I know a lot of you have farms or grew up on farms. Gang stalking. I just saw a message over there. So, to one and all, a good night, good day, wherever you are. And then all